Hey everyone, Dan here. I want to show you some of the cool new filters inside of the Effects module in Photo RAW 2019. I'm here inside of Effects. Click on the Edit module and then the Effects tab. And right down here, you'll see the Add Filter button. When I click on that, there's a new experience for selecting your filters. There's a few more filters, so the list keeps getting longer and longer with each release as we add more filters, so we wanted to give you a better way to find them. So now, as you mouse over the names of each filter, you'll actually see a before and after and a description of what it does. There's also a search field at the top to make it easier for you to find them. So I could type in something like blur, for example, and it'll go out and find just the filters that do blur. And this searches the name of the filter, it also searches the description, and it searches some keywords. You notice that each filter has keywords assigned to it. We'll search those as well to make it easy for you to find the right one you're looking for. Now let me show you some of the new ones. The first one I want to show you is the curves filter. So if we come down and we select curves, it'll add a standalone curves pane. Now, if you're an existing user, you probably know there's a curves pane also inside the tone enhancing filter, but the tone enhancer is a really big filter and it does lots of things other than just the curves. So we built a standalone curves pane, which makes it easier for you to go in and just target the stuff you want to work on. I'm going to use the curves tool in this case to take this foggy day and make it look even foggier. I'm just going to simply grab the black point and I'm going to bring it up. There we go. I'll bring the white point down just a little bit. This is kind of a matte look. It's going to take the photo and make it look even more hazy than it was originally. I really like that foggy day feeling to it. Next, I'm going to add another one of the new filters. I'll click on the Add Filter button, and in this case, I want to use the Color Adjustment filter. The color adjustment filter lets you target individual color ranges and then adjust them in either their hue, their saturation, or their brightness. It's a really handy tool. And again, if you're an existing user, this has been a section of the color enhancing filter, which again, does a lot of other things than just this. So we made a more targeted tool so you can really get to just the stuff you want. What I want to do is I want to grab just those green colors. I want to bring up the saturation in just those greens a little bit. So I'm just going to grab the green color range simply by clicking on it here, and then I can grab the saturation slider and bring it up a little bit. I'll also brighten it just a little bit. There you go, I've selected that green color range, and I've brought up its saturation and its brightness a little bit. Let's turn it on and off so you can see before and after. There's before, and there's after. Next, I want to add some film grain to it. I'll click on that Add Filter button, and there's a new film grain filter. This allows you to add film grain on top of a color or black and white photo. Keep in mind whenever you adjust film grain, you want to zoom in to 100% to do that. So I'm just going to open up my navigator and I'll click on the 100% button. This makes it easy for me to see what that film grain really looks like. Now in the film grain pane, there's some built-in styles to help you, or you can pick whatever film grain you want to add. I'm going to do a really strong stylized look in this case. I'm going to grab a really high-speed 3200 film, just like that. The amount slider controls how obvious the grain is. I'm going to go with kind of subtle, and then the size slider controls how big it is. And I want a big golf ball sized grain in this case. There we go, just like that. And then last but not least, I'm going to add a vignette. Now, the vignette's not new, but we've made some improvements to vignette. There's a new mode at the bottom called priority. Priority is going to look more like the highlight priority option in Adobe Lightroom. So I'm going to select that. I'll bring my brightness slider down just to add a little bit of a vignette to my photo. If I don't like that it's darkening my sky as much, I'll just grab the highlight slider, and I can also protect the highlights back a little bit or bring the highlights up. So it's really going to apply that effect stronger in the darker areas. There we go. Let's take a look at our before and our after. There's our original photo out of the camera, and there it is using some of those new filters inside of Effects, part of the Edit module in Photo RAW 2019. Thanks for watching.